This is your WCIA 3 forecast first.
Well, things have calmed down considerably from what they were earlier this afternoon when we had a line of showers and storms that moved through. Let's take you back. You can see that line that came right through the middle of Champaign, Vermilion counties, and really dropped some good rainfall amounts, but it really varied widely. Take a look at this as we zoom in and we plot some of the amounts. I mean, you get to the north side, you had 2+ inches of rainfall. You get to the south side, you didn't get hardly a drop. Big difference out there is that little line moved from south to north. So some of you got a good drink of water, others still dealing with that brown grass out there with the dry conditions. 80 in Champaign, it's also very humid. Temperatures are going to stay warm, and we've got more rain chances in the forecast coming up this week. We'll break that down for you when we come back, so stick around. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
It's not cars or trucks being stolen, but they're still on wheels, where law enforcement is joining forces to stop the thefts. Plus, major downpours caused a problem in one city where crews rescued a family.
And also tonight, the 4th of July is just 3.5 weeks away. What fireworks show is on and which one was just called off?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
We know it's bigger than Effingham County.
It's a crime spree that spans hundreds of miles, and at least one sheriff worries it may not be over. Good evening. I'm Jessica Coons.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The Effingham County Sheriff's Office has arrested 4 people in connection to 18 ATV robberies across these 5 counties. They're each being charged with theft and unlawful possession of a stolen motor vehicle. WCIA 3's Jared Farmer is live in our newsroom. Jared, the Sheriff's Office is concerned there are more stolen ATVs out there.
And Jennifer, they believe there are more suspects involved as well. The Effingham Sheriff's Paul Coons says this first round of arrests could lead them to a larger conspiracy that they have yet to solve. Effingham County Sheriff Paul Coons says the rise in ATV theft started back in May.
We had an Effingham County deputy did a traffic stop. He thought it was suspicious that people had an ATV in the back of their vehicle.
2 weeks later, that same ATV was reported stolen. Then, as more reports were filed over the next few weeks, the Sheriff's Office decided to investigate. Over the month of May, 8 ATVs were stolen in Effingham alone.
We know it's bigger than Effingham County, and several of these vehicles, ATVs, motorcycles, were stolen from more than 100 miles from here.
Shelby, Coles, Cumberland, and Clay County were also hit. Shelby County's undersheriff says they've been increasing patrols in the southeast part of the county and working with Effingham on the case.
We worked closely with them, and they were able to make an arrest, and we are currently attempting to try to tie our cases with theirs to see if there's any correlation.
The investigation is far from over, but Effingham County deputies have arrested these 4 people in connection to the robberies. 13 of 18 stolen ATVs have been recovered. But since authorities say that more could be out there, they're warning people not to buy an ATV unless the seller has a title to it. An Effingham sheriff says to check to make sure your things haven't been stolen, and if they have, to give your local police department a call. In the newsroom, I'm Jared Farmer, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Jared, thank you so much for that. Now, just outside of Effingham, one farmer in Jasper County says his utility vehicle was stolen. His family farm owns 2 of them. He says he normally leaves his equipment parked in front of his house, but 2 weeks ago, a group of people, he said, been staking out the place, stole it overnight. He still has one, but he says it slowed down work on the farm significantly.
I just hope they find the guys that got it. I mean, I hope they need to be punished, I think. Maybe they'll learn something.
They say they're looking to replace it, but are stuck figuring out how to pay for it.
Family is safe tonight after their car became partially submerged in water. You see here crews pushing it out. This happened in Champaign this afternoon near the intersection of Bradley and Prospect. It was during one of those downpours we had. Fire crews were called in to help get those people out. They're asking people to try and avoid any water they see on the road. Here's something that doesn't happen every day. Jacksonville's fire chief says a man stole a fire truck and took it for a joyride. 30-year-old Corey Fisher was arrested Sunday. The chief says crews were doing their daily equipment check when one of the trucks started driving away. It took about 10 minutes for Fisher to be caught and arrested. No one was hurt, but the truck was scratched up. Myers charged with possession of a stolen vehicle and trespass to a motor vehicle. We have new details after a body was found in a gas tanker. We now know the victim's name. The Iroquois County coroner says it's Garrett Meyer. He's a 29-year-old from Nashville in southern Illinois. Two truck drivers found his body in Buckley after their tanker wasn't working correctly. The coroner says authorities are following several good leads.
Macon County public health officials told their community to pat themselves on the back. They're saying thank you to those they serve for dealing with the tough times during the pandemic. But they are also telling them to be careful once the state reopens on Friday. They were very clear COVID isn't going away anytime soon. Macon County is behind the curve when it comes to vaccinations compared to other big counties in central Illinois. Only 34% is vaccinated compared to 45% in Sangamon County. Phase 5 gets rid of all capacity limits on all businesses Friday.
Just because it's not, an indicator of whether or not things can open up does not mean it may or may not impact someone's life. Some of the effectiveness of this vaccine is to not have as severe of cases or hospitalizations or deaths. So people are still going to have COVID-19, but can we save their life?
The state went in line with the CDC's latest mask guidance. That means no one who's fully vaccinated needs to wear a mask. Cities across Illinois got better than expected news when state lawmakers passed a budget.
Many of them wait for the state budget before solidifying their own, and they were worried about losing out on money. WCIA 3's Cole Hankey is live in Decatur for us tonight. Cole, some cities worried about millions of dollars in losses.
Yeah, that's right. Every year, cities rely on the local government distributive fund to fill some of the gaps in their yearly budgets. And this year, they were worried that state lawmakers were going to take back some of the share of the state's income tax pool that so many cities rely on. For months, city leaders across Illinois were bracing for the worst, but revenue shortages weren't as bad as expected, and the state brought even more good news last week. The state's budget did not include a cut to the local government distributive fund.
We were just thankful to be able to hold on to the 6% that we have.
That's money that is normally taken from the state's income tax pool and given to local governments. Governor Pritzker proposed a cut to that fund, which scared cities like Decatur.
For Decatur, that was a lot of money. It was close to $3 million just in a cut. So it's money we depend on. It's how the state divided it up when the state income tax was first created, so that cities wouldn't create their own income tax. And so it's worked really well.
LGDF money can be used on anything cities want to spend it on. And after the pandemic, leaders have plenty of ideas. For Springfield, it would cover the cost of expected cuts to the fire department.
It's very significant with regards to us. It would actually come from services, whether it's reducing staffing levels or equipment needs, things of that nature.
But that wasn't the only good news. Cities also got an extension on applying for COVID money from the federal government. That federal funding can be used to cover things like COVID expenses for the cities. Now, Springfield and Decatur have both already applied and received that federal money through the Cures Act, but other cities across Illinois were still waiting or still weren't able to get through all of the red tape and all of the paperwork on time needed to get that federal money. Reporting in Decatur, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA 3. Your local news leader.
All right, Cole, thank you. The state's COVID-19 positivity rate has dropped again. It's now 1.3%. There are 365 new cases. 11 more people have died. 44,000 more people have been vaccinated. The state is averaging almost 43,000 shots a day. 11.7 million people have gotten a shot. No fireworks in Decatur next month. The Park District's 4th of July display has been canceled. They say their longtime fireworks provider pulled out because of a lack of crew members. The show was supposed to be held at Nelson Park over the lake. There is some good news from the Champaign County Freedom Celebration. Fireworks are scheduled to happen on July 4th near the State Farm Center. There will not be a 5K or parade.
It's a business that's been open for about a year and a half, why workers are already looking to organize a union.
Also tonight, one superintendent is leaving his job, and there's some heated debate over who will take over.
And Kevin is back.
Yeah.
Baby's at home.
Baby's at home.
Kevin's at work.
I'm at work.
It's like so easy, right?
It's a piece of cake. I mean, like, no problem at all. Besides that sleep that...
You don't even look tired, though.
17
I
minutes
don't?
of sleep.
God, I feel like I'm just kind of like, hey, this weather could be fun. But, hey, we actually haven't all been together in, like, what? Like,
It's
3
been
weeks?
a while.
Long time.
Been a while as well. Well, I came back, and now it's just hot and humid, and, like, summer is in full swing, and we get these pop-up storms. We had that today, where the high temperature made it to 86. More rain is in the forecast. We'll talk about additional storms for the weekend coming up.